Imagine there was a way you could get an extra 20% off already incredible prices at Kildare Village. Well, there is. Just sign up to Privilege, our rewards program, and you'll be invited to our exclusive private sale, where you can enjoy an additional 20% off at participating Kildare Village brands between 29th of March and April 7th. T's and C's apply. Sign up at kildarevillage.com and find something extraordinary every day.
That's what we need. We need to be a specialist at one thing a year. You need to be like the St. Patrick's Day specialist or something like that, or like, you know, the NFL draft guy. I mean, for the other 364 days of the year, he does nothing, but he's just an expert on that one day.
Yeah, I mean, you did find me out here to Phoenix to cover the owners meeting, so I think I kind of found.
Oh my God, you're the NFL owners meeting, and you've done such a great job. Your expense reports are amazing. They're very detailed. Thank you. You even put the tip on there. That's wonderful.
Yeah, 20%. That's how you do it. If you don't have money, if you don't have the money to tip, don't go out.
The Donut Bag is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the smart way to buy and resell tickets. It takes confusion out of buying tickets. They put a 0 to 10 score on each ticket to let you know if you're getting a good or bad deal. Use promo code DonutBag to get $20 off your first purchase. Go to SeatGeek.com or get the SeatGeek app. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pod Hub Network. In this episode, I welcome back Donnie Druin from SteelersNow.com. We catch up on everything going on with the Steelers. The NFL owners meetings are going on right now, and Donnie is on the scene. It has nothing to do with him living in Phoenix or anything like that. No, we sent them there as a special correspondent. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, the Donut Bag starts right now. The NFL owners meetings are underway, and we have a special correspondent, Donnie Druin, in Phoenix, reporting on it. Donnie, what can you tell us about the owners' meetings?
It's a lot going on here down in Phoenix. I can promise you that I don't live here. Shout out to Joey for flying me first class out here. The mimosas are still pouring through me, so bear with me here. It's a lot going on. Some people are wearing polos to the photo shoots. People are pissed. Belichick isn't saying anything, so I think we're on par for the course.
How's Bob Pompiani? Have you made up with him yet?
I can't necessarily reveal the information. Sources are still working for him to tweet me back. It's all good though. He's understandably a busy person, despite him tweeting throughout the day.
Here's what I want to know, Mike Tomlin. Is it me, or does he look different? Did he shave his head?
So I think he either shaved it or it's all of the stress. If you look at the picture of Coach Tomlin in his first season, I swear to God, Joey, look, his first season, he's got like a full head of hair. He's this young coach, and just looking at him now, he looks stressed. But it's not just him. You see it with all of the coaches that are in the league for like longer than 7 or 8 years. So I think he legitimately has lost his hair due to stress.
I'd believe it. Or I pulled it out. I don't know. He had to have really been dreading this week, because this is basically the first week that he had to speak about everything that's been going on.
Well, and a lot's happened since the last time he spoke too. I mean, it's nice for Kevin Colbert to drop his comments here and there, but kind of the guy in the middle of everything. We haven't heard from him, so you're right. It was absolutely big day for him to speak, and I think he came through.
I think he was all right. I mean, I think he was as diplomatic as he could be. What do you? I'm sure there's a lot of things he'd like to say, but
did you hear what he said about Le'Veon Bell?
What to the reporter about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, the in-house Jets reporter asked him if he thought Le'Veon Bell was essentially a good enough player to carry the Jets? And Tom responded, I hope so. You're paying him enough. So I thought that was a nice little subtle jab at him.
I don't know who said it on Twitter, but someone after that comment, someone said, did an umbrella come up? Because I just saw a lot of shade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's I'm sure that's one of those things of things that he has to say and things that he'd like to say, and he's biting his tongue big time. But I also thought it was interesting that I don't know if it was because of him speaking out, or because of maybe it was James Harrison going on TV and defending Ben, but all of a sudden, like, a lot of the players are actually defending Ben now, which is nice to hear, instead of the nonstop attacks.
Yeah, we saw what happened with Josh Harris. He kind of started the whole thing about Ben intentionally fumbling and rolling his eyes at Todd Haley, making the playing call late in the game to run it instead of kneeling it. And you just see this like outpour of former players. Everybody from Bruce Gradkowski, who was barely on the team for, I think, maybe 2 seasons, who knows, all the way to, current players, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquise Pouncey stuck up for him. And I think most surprisingly was James Harrison, because let's not forget, Harrison was buddies with Antonio Brown a couple months ago on Instagram Live while Coach Tomlin was giving that press conference.
Yeah.
So, given his history of him joining the Patriots and also the Bengals for that year as well, that was really refreshing to see James Harrison kind of reel everybody in together and say, hey, let's not let this get out of hand. Ben's a great leader.
That's really curious. That's really curious that he would. I mean, obviously he has an axe to grind with Tomlin, and he will never say anything nice about Tomlin. But for him to defend Ben, that's very interesting, because you're right. He was buddies with Antonio Brown, so I'm not sure what happened with that behind the scenes. But I think he said something like he tried to talk to Ben, or he tried to get Ben and AB together, and just AB refused. So it's like, if someone tries to talk to you and you refuse to talk to them, there's can't really blame that other person.
Yeah, and even tying things back to what Mike Tomlin said earlier today. There's some things that Antonio Brown and even, I guess, Le'Veon Bell, some things that they had said that Mike Tomlin wouldn't comment on, but he did say that, some things may or may not have been true, or some things may or not have been like falsified. Right. So, obviously there's 3 sides to a story. There's, one person's side, there's the other person's side, and then there's actually what happened.
Yeah.
And I think what actually happened probably won't surface to light for a lot of people, but yeah, I mean, it's really nice to see people step up for Ben, and it's at a time when people really don't like Ben Roethlisberger in this town anymore.
I think in Pittsburgh people like Ben. I think it's just everywhere else.
Yeah, it might be my Twitter following then, because I see people bashing Ben left and right.
There's always going to be hate for him for many reasons, and I mean it's hard for me also to defend the guy because of his past. But in terms of his football play, like, come on, people. I did like what Bruce Arians said. He said something like, people need to get a thicker skin. I think he's referring to making comments when Ben makes comments on a radio show or something like that, or whatever, or the what did Le'Veon Bell say? Oh no, what Emmanuel Sanders. He said, Kevin Colbert said I'm not as good as Antonio Brown. Was he lying?
I would have paid good American dollars to see that in person, to be honest. I get me a big old thing of popcorn, movie theater popcorn, and
with butter.
And layer the butter. Pour some in the middle, shake it, and pour some more on top. To see Kevin Colbert say that. But it's funny because Antonio Brown earlier in the season, whenever Ben spoke out about him, he stepped up to the media and said, "Hey, Ben's earned this right. He's the only guy with a Super Bowl title under his belt." And then all of these events transpire, and it's crazy. Thankfully that circus is over in Pittsburgh, and I think we as a city, as a sports town, can move on to better things.
I think, yeah. I mean, it is. It is over, but it'll at least the circus is outside of the town now.
Yeah, they're still putting flyers in the city, via Twitter. But
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting that like we said, various players came to the defensive end, and as soon as anybody says anything, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell have to put in their 2 cents. They have to say something. It's like they have to get the last word. And it's pathetic and sad, and I barely understand the things that Antonio Brown says, but it's just pathetic and sad that they're never going to let it go.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because they're on different teams now. Shouldn't you be getting ready for a new season with your new team?
Right.
Shouldn't you be worried about going through an obstacle course for Derek Carr's birthday at the stadium? Shouldn't Le'Veon Bell be worried about how much money he's put in his bank account, or where to hide his bongs off of his Instagram stories? It's all really strange.
I did like that. Some people pointed out if Le'Veon Bell thought Pittsburgh was a mean city and the people were mean, wait till he finds the nice kind strangers in New York City who are very easygoing.
Yes.
And we'll treat him wonderfully. So good luck with that, Le'Veon Bell.
I'm sure they're also going to like his rap career as well.
Oh yeah.
Life's a gamble.
I think he was. Le'Veon Bell was. I think that's like his main beef is nobody liked my rap songs. Like not even his team. Listen, we can make a rap right now, and have a pretty good. Have it be pretty good. All you have to mention is Heinz ketchup, 6 Super Bowls, Mr. Rogers. There's different things you can say, and you can have an instant hit in Pittsburgh. It's not that hard.
I mean, Wiz Khalifa did it with 2 colors. So.
Exactly. Black and yellow. Hey, I think those look at what they're wearing. They're wearing black and yellow. I think I'll make a song about it. That's it.
One more time.
Yeah. That's it. It's that simple. But anyway, so this offseason, the Steelers went a little they spent more than they usually do, and they were a little more aggressive in free agency, and they kind of addressed all of their holes. What do you think about Mark Barron and Dante Moncrief and Steven Nelson?
Yeah, so it was kind of odd seeing them be as aggressive as they were in free agency, not more so gunning towards top guys, because I don't think the Steelers, as long as the Rooneys were in charge, will ever kind of strive to spend big money on a big player. But for a long time, the organization would sit back, they would kind of wait for the dust to settle in free agency, and then they would go and get the scraps. But 2019 is a whole new year. Like you said, they went and got Steven Nelson, the Chiefs cornerback, Mark Barron, the Rams linebacker, and Dante Moncrief, who I actually really like as well. None of those signings jump off of the page. They don't make me want to go buy a jersey off of NFL.com or anything like that. But I think all of those signings are fairly good for what the Steelers wanted. And I think it really set them up in a really good position for the draft, because now they don't have to reach. If a player they like isn't there at pick number 20, they don't have to pull an Artie Burns. They're solidified at all of their quote unquote holes. For the future, maybe not. But at least, for the upcoming season, they have pieces where they felt like they were weak. So I think that gives them a big advantage whenever it comes to the draft.
So what do you think they're going to do in the draft? The big news is it sounds like, or at least the wish list is, let's get one of the Devons, Devin White or Devin Bush. But those guys are probably going to go either top 10 or top 15, and they have to make a trade.
That's kind of how the outlook of the draft is right now, is that Devin White is almost certainly going to be a top 10 pick. There's really no doubting that. Devin Bush, the Michigan linebacker, is more so the kind of the joker in the deck, the wild card. Nobody really know what's going to happen with him. He wasn't even projected to be a top 15 pick before the combine rolled around. So after a strong combine, that really helped his draft stock as well. I don't think either of them will be there at pick number 20.